Okay, good. Okay. So I picked up a set from 2019. I think it's probably the last set that they played, probably, I'd imagine. Um, I'm gonna say I lied in general. Oh yeah, I gotta unmute my mic. I'm gonna record this though. I might post it on YouTube if it's any good. I don't know if I have any really good insight, but I think it'd be useful nonetheless. All right, recording. Oh, he had a nice shirt on here. Look at this. Nice little black shirt. Always better dressed than Trip, I'll tell you that. So this matchup's kind of weird. I don't really. So this was pre Slippy. Some of you might be newer. Back in the day, we used to play on this archaic stage called Pokemon Stadium with transformations, and so it wasn't a starter. It was a counter pick. So back in the day, Falcon's stage striking was a lot worse versus like every single character, pretty much. Most characters, anyways, because he's really really good at pros and Pokemon, but usually worse on FD. And so I don't really know how people start Battlefield. Like versus Peach used to be like she'd strike Battlefield. What did you start? I guess they could start maybe like Adam's really good at camping, so he didn't want to go Dreamland. But usually you'd have to go FOD, Dreamland, or FD, and then ban Yoshi's, which I even think Yoshi's good for her too. I think the only good one for us is Battlefield, so it's kind of weird in a world where FD's a starter. But they started Battlefield nonetheless. That was so cheap. They also didn't have neutral spawns back then, so. Um, so right away, you kind of see like differences in Peach players' kind of neutral game plans. This Trif is definitely like a more Armada-inspired Peach. I can already tell. I already kind of know what the game plan's going to be for most of the set. This isn't really the modern Peach though. This is more of like a. Wait, I should have the voice to text open or whatever. Hold on, so I can read. Yeah. So this is definitely more of an old school style of Peach play, which is more based on punishing mistakes, staying grounded, being hard to like get combos started on you. And nowadays you see a lot more like kind of spamming low float aerials that are really hard to punish and really good versus Falcon Snare and things like that. That's kind of the more modern way to play the matchup. Sub floats or just low floats in general. Obviously CC is in, power shielding is all just a big part of Peach's game plan as general rule, but um, I remember Trif is a very, very defensive player, like extremely defensive player. And he's a European Peach, so you're gonna expect him to be pretty Armada inspired. You kind of see that already, which is why grab is good. Versus a lot of Peaches, that's actually a really bad idea. But yeah, run up grab when they're staying grounded is just like you just kind of give them the come in Matumbo. That's the name, right? Yeah, see that? Like the stay grounded, power shield, down smash, CC, wave dash back CC. And that kind of game plan is kind of the old Armada game plan, just like win the war, right? You might not be winning neutral like that hard directly, but if you just keep staying good at your punishes, hard to kill, you'll usually win the war with attrition. And I like the double up right there. Okay. That's a hard spot. Covering Peach's float to ledge in this matchup in general is a pretty problem situation. And it's pretty greedy double jump up there. But yeah, like that's actually a pretty big spot. Like you'll see this a lot after you down throw her off stage. Kind of does that air dodge and floats to ledge. It's kind of unclear what the best answer is. Like you can do different call outs and kill her, right? But usually the right call, if you have no data and no idea what they're gonna do, like maybe Adam had some data and some like good ideas of what Trif would do because they played quite a few times. But if you don't know, usually you want to give them ledge because Peach is pretty trash off ledge and just get really good at trapping her there. I think they call it ledge trapping in Ultimate because they don't have ledge options in that game or something. I don't know about Ultimate, but I think we call it that. And we can do kind of a similar thing here versus Peach. And you're probably going to see a lot of that from, ledge trapping again. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of that from Adam versus Peach. So he's actually probably the best at it, if I remember correctly. It's been a few years since I saw all these sets. But yeah, just getting her there and keeping her there is a big, big deal in this matchup. You have a bunch of huge hitboxes that kill. We're really good at threatening her off stage and making her float to ledge, basically. She can't really get over us, even if she kind of mixes us up with drift forward float, stuff like up air is just so ridiculous for her, no matter what. She approaches from almost any angle, whether it be from here to here. You can just fade back up air and she gets past you a little bit and knock her back off stage. So you kind of force her in a lot of situations to grab ledge, and being able to deal with that comfortably is a big, big, big deal. And so I think the right call was to give her ledge. He just messed up the punish. Interesting decision. A lot of interesting decisions. That was a pretty greedy double jump up air, but it's okay. Can't believe that worked. Wow. All right. So something I think is really underappreciated in her speech. She went to top platform right away here because it's like she just can't really chase you vertically that well. But I think that should also extend to your ledge choices. Like something that Wizzy do a lot is he'll do the hack slash jump waveland stuff here. And you don't have to do waveland forward, you can do waveland back and do more mix-ups. You can do, double jump fast, drift back fastball through the platform here. You can drift forward, stomp, ledge cancel in the center. You can double jump up, ledge cancel onto top flat here into buffered light shield. We got a lot of a lot of options. And normally, like, you just get full up backward by Spacey if you do that and they kind of catch on to it. But for something like Peach, she has to really kind of float up here a lot more. And if she comes down, it's something she can't really deal with that well. That was a horrible up air choice. So what you actually, a really good thing to do is, it might seem like a bad mix up to empty land fastball here. But because, well, she might just be matching down smash, in which case you're gonna get hit. But you're gonna hit anyways in that case. But another thing you can do though is if X trying to time it, you can empty land fastball. And so when you hit someone in this game, they have freeze frames, right? And so you can actually mess up a lot of down smashes, especially as you get higher percent, and they have to wait for the real crouch cancel to happen, so they can't just mash it. You can abuse that by intentionally just not landing with an aerial and then doing immediate stomp, and that'll wreck people going for CC down smash on too much. Sorry about the everybody, by the way. That was I don't even know how I did that, but hopefully we'll change that, or someone who knows how to change that will change that. But yeah, so you can abuse the lack of freeze frames, because so if you hit her with the up air here, which is what she's kind of looking for, right? She has to time her down smash, especially at higher percents here. So here it wouldn't really matter, but I'm just using as a good example. So if she was like 50% here, she could CC down smash the up air still. But if you run off up air and then mix it up with run off empty land, like fastball empty land, and immediate stomp, the stomp will go over her down smash because she has to wait for the timing of like when the up air freeze frames would end. You know how Nia has a lot of freeze frames and they get stuck there and they can SDI a lot. The same thing happens with every move in the game if they hit the opponent, and so you can abuse that versus CC a lot in this matchup. This is pretty stupid up air, but I think you just want to trade damage, which is honestly pretty acceptable, because your goal here is to get to like the 30s or like high 20s to 30s, and once you get it there, you can start just playing the long game. Grabs and up air, start leading to stuff. So I think trading damage here was okay actually, but he missed, so it looks stupid, but no one's perfect. Okay. That down smash was genius though. He mixed them up. He was DIing like up and in again. I don't know why he wasn't sliding off at all, but you can also recover high a lot there for speech. Like, I think a really underused option that I posted about before is like you can just jump up here and then threaten up B ledge cancel to top flat. And if she even goes over here, you can just reverse ledge cancel to this place right here. And so that's what I would have done. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but it's definitely an option. And then what you can do on this top ledge cancel, top flat ledge cancel, is last second shift your like left input, like you're drifting left to up and left, and hold Z, and you'll buffer a teeter light shield. It's pretty obnoxious to deal with versus like floatier characters. They have answers, but it's like their answers kind of suck, So that's what I would do. You're also not at percent here where it's like, because if you drift down here and she just float nears, like you die. So I feel it's a pretty horrible recovery in this spot. There are times when that's good. And then, yeah, usually you want to go for a slide off here, but DI up is okay. But yeah, he got mixed pretty well by that. That was a good wave announcement for double jump land. So that looked really stupid. I mean, it was, but like, it also looks stupid. But like, there's actually some cool things you can do. You can nair the turnip and your nair will stay out. So like Adam thought he was gonna stay off here floating, right? Which is usually a pretty safe bet. So Trif mixed them up by full drifting in, and like Adam used this like really really well. Like we all know that, or a lot of Falcons know you can run off double jump up air, but like he used it really really well versus Puff and Peach. But yeah, if you're expecting this nair or this turn up, that's why nair in place is so good. If she drifts forward, the nair in place beats her. If she turn ups, the nair in place will plank with it and it'll stay out. The nair will stay out. And it's kind of risky, but not really because you're not going to die, right? And if you hit her, you knocked her out of her double jump and her float. Now she's off stage and she might die. She won't die like most of the time, but she'll die a significant portion of the time. And at worst, you have her on ledge with no double jump or float, which is she has double jump starting on ledge, but no float. And that's like if she has float, she can get off ledge, but if she doesn't, you're gonna hit her at least once or twice most of the time. But yeah, that's an option you could have done there. You can nair right through that turn up. Which has its own mix-up games and shit like that. But just understanding like some of the options starts that mix-up game. And this was another really good thing. So he reset the top flat here, and a lot of people would go for like double jump stomps in these situations. But if you notice, he just ran down, empty land on the platform, then ran off. And it seems like a really like no brainer thing. But a lot of people go for these kind of like greedy situations, or they'll go for like shield drop here, which is a lot worse because like back in the day, everyone positioned around. I mean, I put this really simply, but back in the day, no one shield drop, so everyone positioned around runoff aerial, right? And so shield drop was really really good because it basically was a mix up on their positioning. And but nowadays it's the opposite. Everyone's spacing for like him to stomp into buffer light shield. Basically, that's like their spacing. Buffer. Hold on, I'll mute the guy. There we go. No offense, dude. It's just we're a lot of us in here, so if we're all talking, it'd be too much. Not buffered light shield, but buffered shield drop up air or bear, and they can CC it. You see a lot of sheiks do that to you too. So if you're getting CC grabbed if your shield drops versus sheik, that's what they're looking for. That's the read. Because stomp through plat doesn't hit crouching people usually. I think most people, definitely not sheik or Marth. And then if you shield drop up air or bear, they can usually grab it. So runoff was like empty land runoff was really really good here. But like the even high level mix up is to run off empty land fastball again, because people are always playing around the aerial spam. And versus the lower level players, the runoff aerial is always the best option because it's like relatively safe, usually works, it's a huge move, and pretty low lag, you know. But as you get better and better, people are gonna start CCing you and trading with it and stuff like that, and it's not as much of an autopilot thing. And if you talk to people, just as a side note, they won't realize why their spacing is this way. People just play a lot of melee, kind of intuitively grasp these things. But that's why they kind of, if you watch old sets versus new ones, they subtly space in different ways. And it's because they're either used to punishing shield drop versus runoff aerial with, and you all see that with the shield pressure changes, which are more obvious. And yeah, you see Adam's getting away with a lot of grabs. It's because this guy really likes to CC in his power shield game to like keep himself grounded, don't get lifted up by Falcon. A lot of the old school Armada mindset was just don't get picked up off the ground. So he fucked up the instant up air, but somehow our Trif is not going to wiggle out DI or really do anything to get out of that. So he got killed, or need at least at 86, which usually kills. And Trif is kind of like H boxing in, holding full in, drifting off stage, and getting hit. But I assume that's a mix up based on like previous sets they've had. It's hard to like extrapolate. People play a lot of sets at high level. That was sick, but it doesn't combo at 0. But it combos at I think really close to 0, like 7% it probably starts comboing. But yeah, he did the to beat a float clearly above your short op nair height. You can instant double jump nair onto the side plat. It's actually an old thing from when we first started playing, like in 2016, 2017 or something. I told him to do this for Peach. It's crazy. But basically over a side plat, you can instant double jump, and you'll land right after the second hit of nair and have like the max frame advantage. It's like a super low nair, but like over a platform, right? So instant double jump puts you right at the right height to have like kind of the juiciest, highest hit stun, basically most frame advantage nair you could possibly have. And so it's really, really safe too, because the second hit comes out red with a plat. So there's almost no lag. So you can shield after even if you're wrong. So it's a really, really good option in general, but especially versus Peach, who gets kind of wrecked by that nair. And she's gonna when she floats, she's often gonna want to like go above your nair, at least classically. Nowadays, they're switching the matchup up a little bit, but if you see a lot of the high floats, it's a pretty good safe option. It's pretty good versus a lot of characters jumping around. But yeah, you can combo that into a dash shield drop up air usually is the best thing to do. But this time he DI'd off, so he had to run off up air and he was slow. I think it would have worked. Yeah, good job jumping away. Don't shield drop into that. Yeah, 11%, just gonna punish you. Yeah, good omps attack. I mean, there was no reason to pull a turn up, but it's still good to check them. Okay, I don't think there's anything you get there. Ah, that was a free combo, by the way. He missed the he held shield after the nair. But it's hard to always ready for that. It's really, really hard. And in that situation specifically, it's hard. Don't let her over your head. Yeah. So we're gonna go into more like the interesting parts of this matchup, which is like threatening positional advantage and capitalizing off of getting Peach off stage and above you. Those are like the two money spots for us as Falcon. Um, so the number one priority you should have is if she's floating in here, you basically give her ledge until you have a read otherwise. So you want to cover this airspace. Don't let her drift forward. She should never be able to move forward onto stage for free. It should always have to be like you're ready for a big call out, her drifting the ledge. And so you should always cover the space with up air. Generally short up air, but when she's floating high like this, he didn't know if she was going to come down here. So he was full up airing to cover the whole space. But yeah, basically your goal is to cover this airspace. Don't let her above you. Don't let her go past you to top flat because your up air is uniquely suited to like stuff that basically. Because most up airs will hit her up and she'll just be okay. But you're specifically knock her back off stage without a float. So you want to basically cover the space, make her go to ledge, trap her there. That's what he did. Oh, that was okay, but he was just slow. The double up air would have worked versus that air dodge. Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah. So you can whip that knee, double jump on up air. I'm not gonna harp on that too much. It's in the it's written up. Okay, that doesn't hit you. You can sweet spot underneath that, but it's kind of hard, especially in tournament. Um, yeah, he's right for that time. But if she sub floats, it actually hits her double jump sweet spot, which is pretty obnoxious. It's like kind of unfair. You shouldn't be able to cover double jump sweet spot from on stage, but yeah, just keep that in mind as the meta develops. You might see some sub floats and stuff like that. But yeah, that doesn't work. Yep, speed up the CC down smash. That was a bad upper, I feel like. I want to review this in a second. Oh my gosh, if he had been positioned, he could have punished that. I'm gonna go over this all in a second. Oh, no, it's seasick error. He's just camping the shit up right now. He like to do this a lot for floaties. He would just kind of wait on top lat, not come in for a while. There. I want to review this for now, though. This is pretty extensive, like a long sequence right here. So what kind of set him apart versus other Falcons is if he has Peach in a bad situation, he's not going to gamble and like try to hit her in the corner. You know, because like if you need her at like 50 in the corner, you're not going to kill her, but you risk dying yourself even though you're at 8%. And like what's more, you just gave up your position no matter what. Like you either hit her or you're stuck in the corner now versus Peach. Whereas if she's stuck in the corner, it's really, really, really hard for her to get out. Once she's like past like 40 to 50%, it's really, really hard for her to get out versus your aerial spam. And so he just kind of abuses that. And he takes like slight drift forward aerials, kind of like how Manga shoots his lasers. And he mixes that up with retreating stuff to kind of like overall hold his ground depending on how he feels the Peach is moving. So we're going to see that in a second. This is right here. See? So if you notice, he's been in this exact spot for like 3 seconds. And he got hit right as I flipped it, really, positive. That's the idea, right? He's holding his ground, don't not like not lunging for an attack. And I don't think he really ever lunges try to hit Peach. And when he does, it's like clearly a fuck up. So that's why he does the best of anybody. He doesn't like force a hit on her. Like he goes for hits on her, especially when he's like in a more neutral position. Then when he's a slight advantage, like there when Peach was here and he was here and Peach was at 50%, that's a pretty significant advantage. But normally you would never see anyone like capitalize off that in any meaningful way. So that's a key distinction, especially him off ledge and in that spot. Yeah, he just holds his ground, holds his space. See, like there. This is a perfect example. Like this up air. This is just baiting the down smash. But there, he's just repeatedly short up air. He didn't full up air here. That's like I'd say 97% of people would have this spot right here. He's full up airing, he's up air in air. Here he's just like you can't come down. And this actually came from his skill, actually came from playing versus Prof so much. He's a full hoppy platform campy kind of box. I don't know if I don't know if that's bad, but it's just true. And so he knew he would let him reset the top platform and just hold the space. That was the strategy. Like he wouldn't chase the fox. He would just hold up air right here and let him reset the top plat all he wanted to. Because he knew like if he does this, at worst it resets, right? Like if he up airs here and Pete shows like the platform or something, at worst Pete stays above him, right? And at best he gets a hit. Same thing here. So he doesn't force the hit, right? He's just saying if you try to hit me here, I'm holding them where you want to go, and I'm not going to let you go here. And I'm putting hitboxes right where you want to go, and that's that. And yeah, so I think it's a key distinction, right? He never lunged. Wizzy lunges. All of the people they lunge. They try to hit the favorite person, which sounds weird because it's not like Setchi's like camping harder than Wizzy would camp, right? It's more just like Wizzy like sees him as like, okay, I should get a hit. But understanding of like risk reward, which is like, what risk do I have by uppering in place and Peach is floating above me? Pretty low, especially this kind of percent, right? And so whereas the reward is a hitter off stage or hit him to a combo or something like that. Really, really good. That's probably his main strength. I say just don't be greedy. And what I was gonna say here was if you immediately dash full hopped, you could punish this up B. You could dash full up, double jump up air that. And like you don't have to commit, right? So you can just like dash full hop, see what he does, then jump back if he doesn't do anything. But that's okay too. He just gave her float back. It's the thing. But yeah, see, he just holds the space, up airs her going forward. Right? See? Perfect example. Where does he place his up air, right? You can't get over me. You can't get over me. That's the whole point of this, right? The idea behind all of these aerials is preventing forward movement. It's never actually well, that's not true. Most of these arrows are not intended to hit the Peach necessarily. It's more like if Peach tries to get back her stage, she's gonna get hit. That's like the key behind these arrow placements, and that's why like they're so good. He's missing so many, but he's not just spamming arrows. He's not just whipping arrows, right? So when he's whipping arrows, he's deliberately holding space control. And Peach is a character with like finite resources. Unlike a lot of like floaties, like Puff, she can't just like reset all the resources by going to ledge. She doesn't get float back. So you can give her ledge, but you can't, you can't stay here, but you don't have to go home. You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. And so that's what this up air is designed to do. See, he just stay in this direction of Peach the whole time. He fucked out by hitting her this way. That's going to happen. But the whole point of all of this was to keep her trying to hit her this way. That was the whole point. Hit her back to the right without a float. That knee was a fuck up. But if you just watch this, the other thing he does is when he realizes he messes up, that's when he gives him space. Like when he realizes he kind of mispositioned, he doesn't try to do the arrow again. So Wizzy would have full drifted in and bared here, and Peach had a chance to do a mix up then. But Adam instead drifted back, empty landed, and then kind of gave him some space and reset the bear spin. Because like while that wasn't the highest reward possibility, he basically gave any kind of risk. Because Peach could be like looking for the bear spam here, which is exactly what Trif was doing and spacing for. But just didn't give it to him. He said, okay, you can have like 3 character lengths of space. I'm resetting my pressure. I'm resetting my arrow spam. Because if I hit you with a bear, you're either dead this one or the next one, which is a big deal. And as fast forward, even now, you're at risk of dying just randomly for no reason. So it's really that's kind of the subtle decision making that like made him not lose this game. You know, There we are. Oh, wait. Nope. One more then, I guess. Oh yeah, and so air dodge has some landing lag. So even if he keeps air dodging on to get his jump and float back, but you can up air it at worst. There's other options you have to punish that, but like if he gets like right around here and he air dodges down in and in, you can just you can up air it and he can slide off, double jump and float again, but you still got your percent and back in a bad spot. That was a really good dash attack actually. He should never died, dude. Up air. Okay, that was actually a mistake. You want to if you slightly delay that up air, you poke her and she dies. Right here. Uh, oh, that was so close. But yeah, if you want to aim for a shield poke here, Peach has a pretty bad shield if you're below her, like on a platform. So the moment she has a shield, like at high percent, where upper kills, so she can't really get away with the down smash spam. Just aim for a delayed upper shield poke. Yeah. Oh, that was bad. Huh. Oxbow was bad. Wait, what the heck? What? Wait, am I crazy? Did you guys did it teleport? Why did he shield grab that? What the hell? And don't explain why this is a mistake. Yeah. So, anyways, you saw that like earlier. I made that whole point about how he would just give up space, right? Like if he clearly was in a spot where like he had a meaningful level of risk to continue his aerial spam, like Peach was close enough to threaten hit him if he sets him to the late bear, for example. He would just give up a little bit of space and just reset the pressure, right? But here, he chose the shield, which is why he got hit. If he dashed away like he did previous times, super safe. You see how he like shielded there? If he dashed away, faded, and bared, he wins the game already. So that's just like he usually did that. He didn't do it one time and got hit, right? So most of us would do that almost every single time and get hit almost every single time, which is a lot of why you probably get hit versus Peach. So you want to use mobility to get your move out and then come back in with it, right? So you want to move, dash away, drift and bear. And so there he went for the shield in place to kind of be a little greedy, to not give us as much space. That's why he got hit. Yeah, that nair is so good. You see how I cover that space? He wasn't over a platform, so it didn't combo like easily. But that kind of like full hop ish, instant double jump nair kind of height will cover all those floats where Peach is floating way above you, but at low percent when up air is not that scary. Oh, that's the other key distinction is up nair is a lot better before up air starts comboing well. Or like it has a lot more utility rather. Yeah, good job. Yeah, that's not real, so hopefully Chip doesn't get away with that. That was a good read, but FOD. Yeah. That's why this is what most of us would do versus Trip and lose. Nair into the shield into like scramble with Peach, which is a pretty bad spot. Uh, Lord indeed. Trip that was not real, not even like resembling real. But he used a lot of down tilt, and I think Adam liked a lot of down tilt, but up tilt and down tilt both cover Peach's up beat the ledge. I think they can just cleanly beat it, and so you can kind of put it out in your ledge. If you trip into it, you can cover pretty well. Like obviously, Trip was not even close to a sweet spot, but it still hits even if he's pretty good. I think it hits everything, but it definitely hits like almost everything. Might not hit like perfect. Yeah, see, yeah, that was the same greedy slide off double jump upper he did earlier, which is why I died. Like you can do it like once, like slide off double jump stuff. Like you can do that once, I think. Second time you have to slide off and grab ledge, just to be clear what you should do. Yo, don't, yeah. Whenever they land on a sunken FOD platform, you can pretty safely read a down smash in place and then go for like jump above them, stomp, grab. Like you can pretty much always do that. So you can get like you want to like stomp, grab, pummel, buffer down throw pretty much every time. And I think you can usually get an up air off that. But that's pretty good percent. But yeah, You basically want to specifically play whenever they land after an arrow on a low FOD platform. You can just, at least the first time, you can just safely read arrow down smash. Really, bro. All right. What is going on here, bro? Am I crazy? Is something going on? Yeah, this nearest forward, I'm not getting anything. You guys notice? Because the whole strategy here from Trif is to like, yeah, good ops tech choice. You want ops tech like whenever you're in the middle of the stage and get hit by Peach, you can just and you can tech. You want to tech pretty much because she's really bad at chasing. If she chases you down, just be super duper preemptive and quick with a read to not just weak dash tack it. If she weak dash tacked it, weak dash tacks it, you can pretty much always slide off the ledge. So it's like kind of more of a niche spot, but if you like up B high ever and you land in the middle of the stage, go for an ops tech pretty much every time. And then she grabs you, you just DI up in it on reaction. Weird. What? You can't crib. I mean, you gotta keep him honest though. You're gonna like, oh yeah, that's the Nair situation. So you remember earlier in game one, he's a little slow. So here it's off side B, but Nair is like the only thing that will give you any real combos from zero. Like obviously stomp a knee, but getting one, is a tall task to say the least. So the Nair is something that can be really applicable and get you some like multiple hit combos from like a really low percent. Double upper. Yeah. Make sure you know your flow chart. But down throw, you always want down throw. Not much of a flow chart, actually. You did down throw. Yeah, so you went for the Nair. But Trif saw it because it was like a lot further away. So he didn't like full drift forward before. But that's what the idea behind Nair is. If he Naired and drifted forward, it would clank with the turn up like he was trying. And combo to knee, which is dying at 71 as Peach versus Falcon is horrible. That's why these think the matchup was so bad. But anyways, that's what he's trying to do with the Nair. Yeah, you can CC grab the high aerials. It's pretty scary, right? But if they're doing high aerials to stop him from jumping, which is what Trif was doing, right? So the Peach is doing the arrows high off the ground. If they're unsafe on crouch cancel, you can grab them, usually. Whereas if they do it low to the ground or they delay the up air, it's actually really safe on crouch cancel. So if you go for crouch cancel grab, you're gonna get down smash. So the mix-up kind of goes because you have the kind of established thread of like a preemptive aerial, like Adam's been doing most of the set, and then that gets them to do the high up float aerials, and that's when you get your grabs. So just to review, the reason this worked, oh, I can't believe we got need again. That's really bad. But the reason this worked was because like Trif was respecting the up air spam or the whatever spam. That's why that worked right there. But still, you should not get that turn needed Peach. But we still have to know how to do it. You have to be pretty quick about it, make it as hard as possible. Yeah, that Nair is what we want to do. Something I've been thinking about a lot in this situation. So I've been thinking of like drifting to the right side of them and then hitting them back on. Because their whole strat here is to like get pushed off with a really big light shield. So that means if you hit them, like, because they do this really predictably. Mega did versus Wizzy, if you remember the last set they played, he drifted off and shined him. He got pushed off and shined him, rather. But if you just like drift past him and hit him with a bear or a knee or stomp to the left, you're actually going to be really, really plus because they're really light shielding, which usually doesn't have any stun because they get pushed off. But because they're extreme light shielding, they're usually holding Z, so as light shield as possible because make sure they get pushed off. If you just bear them here and then land, they're still in shield stun when when you're actionable. So you keep the pressure going. The slide off double jumps are really greedy. I don't like them like that. Dang. What the hell? You guys see that crap? That was crazy. He messed up a little. He got a knee. You can actually knee grab there, but it's actually like the late knee grab is actually really good for speech. She does a lot of knee, like power shielding her knees. And so if you just delay it a little bit, and that's her power shield timing. She doesn't get far enough away, and then we're +1. So it's pretty good. They're always going to shield grab too. So you always want that presence of mind on stack here out of tech cases. That's like a general matchup knowledge thing nowadays, but for speech especially, she can't really chase it that well. So it's usually good. But look, well, he screwed up the ledge pressure, right? But look, I'm good with twice in a row for no reason. And yeah, so the grabber remains really really strong, but don't look at this and go like, oh, I should grab versus my local peach because maybe you should, but like that's a call out on someone saying grounded versus Falcon. That's like our one like you know anti-grounded opponent option, which is why the tough matchup can be a sore spot for a lot of people because that's our main call out, right? If someone's playing really grounded, like a Fox is playing a lot off CC and shield, our like kind of like um I forget the word, but like our ace in the hole is basically run up grab. It's a really, really strong option. For someone like this who's staying super like patient, grounded and CCing a lot, it's really, really, really strong. And then DI in down throw, the knee is real. So, but Trif probably did it on purpose to take the hit because he was missing the Trif probably DI'd in on purpose. So in case he got need, he didn't get need as far off stage because Trif's been missing the wiggle out air dodge or jump air dodge twice already. So he didn't want to risk dying or that much. Wow. That's crazy. I actually really like that too. Ledge roll is like the OG option. That's the hacks option. I think really, really good nowadays because nobody expects it. Is why it's so good. That was a beautiful nair. Um, you guys see that? It was a I think it was at a no fastball or delayed fastball, and it was a jump forward nair and a pull back. So good. Watch that one more time. His walling patterns are really good. So that nair, that was pretty. Pretty nair. The SJ nair. See, he did not bite. That's so like textbook Adam. Like I would have. There's no way like if he's just floating here that I'm not like dash up airing here, right? But he's just so committed to this like cold space strategy that I'm talking about a bunch. Where you basically just don't let pitch move forward for free. And then if you mess up, give her like an inch, not a mile, right? So okay, yeah, sure you get ledge, but now I trap you there. Okay, sure you can land right here, but now I trap you there. And then he keeps moving back and like preventing forward movement as best he can, hitting Peach for moving forward in any incorrect way. And if she does move forward, she only gets like a few character lengths, and then he resets the situation again. That's like his strategy. And the down angle F tilt is probably supposed to be a no angle, but it covers wave dash forward versus like every character at 9%. It starts knocking down ASDI around like 70s or something. That's probably why he was thinking about it. So I mean, there's a lot wrong. He forced the ledge cancel in the center, but we've all been there. Um, so what I do is I actually like play off the turn up here. I don't know how like good it is, but sometimes I'm experimenting a lot. So I would like up air this turn up, right? And then I would up B into it, then tech, and then like tech wall jump air here. That's what I would have done here, probably. Like got hit by the turn up. That means like her bear timing would be off, and then I would bear the unlag or something. That's what I would have done. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but it's certainly like a pretty good option. And anything is better than being predictable unless you're confident you're teching, which is probably what he was. He's probably just like, I'm gonna tech this, which is reasonable too. Yeah, see that's the down tilt. So the key here though is look at look where he stands. So he wave dashes right here and walks, right? So he walks, so he gets right where he wants to be. And that's why clean beats that turn up or upbeat. Because if you're spaced, your up tilt down tilt are clean beat this upbeat right here. So like it's very specific spacing, but it's not that hard to do. But it's why he didn't stand any closer to the ledge. Because it might feel like you should stand closer, make sure you cover everything, but just if they go for upbeat sweet spot, this will cover it. And even if they tech it, like it doesn't matter because it's Peach. She's gonna like tech and fall and up be again, or she'll like tech and air dodge, and you're like, okay. You probably like tech wall jump, pretty good. Oh wow, yeah. So just to like reiterate something. He's CC dash grabbing her, and it's because of high Peach aerial. Normally, Peach's arrows are like super plus on shield, right? And people are too scared to use crouch cancel. But when she's in the air, you can crouch cancel her just like any other character. Not like any other character, but like she's still better versus most characters. But it's not like this unbeatable like threat like she is on the ground, where it's just never worth it. Well, sometimes it is, but as a general rule, you don't crouch cancel when she's on the ground. When she's in the air, it unlocks that kind of down smash potential. Like it's or it locks it rather. And so basically her arrows are super plus on shield because of the damage. But all moves which can be crouch canceled are the same on crouch cancel. Um, so like her shield, her stuff might be like +4, +2 here on block, but because you're crouch cancel, like all the damage, like it might be like I don't know, what would it be on block? What would it be? Probably like 8 or 9 frames of shield stun, but it's only 4 on CC. So it goes from maybe +2 in the situation to like -3, -4, and then you get some additional advantage because of the crouch crap, which I can explain it if you guys want. But basically, it reduces the freeze frames you experience, but not the opponent. So it gives you more relative frame advantage. So it might be like -5 or 6 here. And so Peach probably would have had to been like buffer down smash to get out of this, which she's not going to do after she lands here because it's Falcon, right? So she doesn't risk getting aerial. So anyway, that's why the CC dash grab was so genius. Like that was actually like probably the only guy in the world, like any good Falcon in the world, that would probably do that regularly. I know someone's gonna be mad at me because they did it one time, but I would not expect anyone else to do that. But it was genius. The only other thing though is if you were a box player or a claw player, you can always have your C6 down while you're dashing here. But I understand it being scared because of down smash, but yeah. CC grab. That was crazy. I can't believe you CC grab. So like a mix up on block there is that like he can down smash always, but if he does anything else, loses the grab, kind of like jab and stuff like that. Usually it's jab or down smash. I can't believe he did that though. I would never. I would just roll reset the situation. He was at 16% or something or 10. He's really cheaping him out with his spawn positions. I gotta tell you. Oh my god. I gotta point out this snare. This snare was so freaking good. Hold on. So it looks like this is gonna be like he's gonna land right here. And he full drift forwards here, but normally like Falcon would his toe would be right here normally. But because Setchi didn't like either he didn't immediately fast forward, he drifted forward more than he expected. Um, it ended up just being a godlike nair. This is like such a good nair. I think he did fastball. I think that's what it was. So like Peach is gonna float and then come down at your timing. So the same reason that like Fox's full hop loses to the that's time to beat a shuffle nair, loses to a no fastball nair, is because it comes down and bonks you on the head, right? So like after the nair is done being out, he comes and hits you. Same thing with Peach's arrows. She basically gets to like come down and hit you on the head, after you're done with them. But by not fastballing, she'll just fall right into it. Such a good nair. Beautiful nair. Yeah. Yeah, she still has no jump or float. What? All right. Just forget anything I ever said this whole session. Don't know what happened there. I thought you got him. Poke. You really want those shield pokes there because Peach doesn't really have like she can shield drop, right? It's probably shield drop float, honestly. But like in general, she's gonna kind of wait for you to hit her shield because it's not worth the risk of getting hit by an instant up air here. So they're gonna wait to hit your shield and then shield drop and get out of there. So delayed up air shield poke is gonna work pretty much every time. Shield sucks, just as like I said earlier. That was another really, really, really good no fastball nair drift forward. And the F tilt's really good because he does anything to get out of shield, the F tilt's gonna hit him. Even if he wave dashes back, usually, because Peach's wave dash really sucks. So even if he wave dashes back, usually the F tilt will cover it if he's close, if you're close. Well, that should have been the back there, but it should be turned around. And full hopping under pressure there is really, really good for Splodies. Tough too. Held his ground with the gentleman there. Like Trif was expecting dash back. That's why that worked. Like Trif was expecting dash back, so if you gentleman, it's a mix up basically. Same thing like versus Falco chase down. Yeah. You always want to upgrade those slide offs. See, that's the power shield on the flying knee. That's why you never flying knee versus kind of people. That was like the Armada bread and butter. That's how he made his money. If you flying attack in general, you're just gonna lose. You're a solid player. What the fuck? Oh, he's trying to land on stage. If he lands on stage there, that down B is really, really good. Okay, good mix up by Trif though. He made it hard to show poke him that time. So yo, that was so good. I think he tried to dash attack a slide off, but still looked really cool. Yeah, Trif's been getting attacking every time. So well below 100% here, but yeah, the run up grab is really good. See, like it missed, but you see how Trif is staying grounded, so the grab is like super close to hitting. So again, fades back to cover the drift forward. Does the same thing again. Yep. See, he held. You can't move forward here. I'm going to hold the space you want to get into. Because Trip's goal is to get here. He's basically saying I'm covering this way. You can go over here. That's why the upper spacing is that way. He fucked it up completely by letting him get center stage. But that was the idea. It was a good idea. Especially at high percent, it's just really scary. A low percent, it's not as good. Because she can just take the hits and CC and stuff. What? Dude. He fucked up. You just jumped to ledge there. If she's not right above ledge, throw turn up down, she can't cover double jump sweet spot there like that well. Right. Yeah. That's what he did wrong. You gotta jump to ledge. He was being safe. He thought Trif would come up. Trif should have ran over there and covered it, but he was playing it safe, and so Adam was wrong. Yeah. Again, the knee was to cover a jump out of shield. He's narrowing to cover drift in. He's bearing to cover drift in. Narrowing to cover drift in. He went for the same CC trick again, but yeah. Same stuff as before. Yeah. It's why does he keep doing it? I don't understand. Adam has probably punished it like 9 times in a row. Wiggle out. Yeah, he went for wiggle out there, but he missed it. So back in the day, wiggling wasn't consistent on game controllers. So he just lost his stock because wiggle out wasn't consistent yet. So he went for wiggle and it didn't work. That's why he died. So you want to wiggle out there because you don't want to jump. And then if Falcon mashes A to get out of it, he has more lag. So nowadays you just wiggle out there. And that's what Adam went for. But he missed it because it used to be inconsistent on game controller. It's no longer. The new UCF fixes that. After I yelled at them way more than I should have. It's pretty rude actually. But whatever. Well, I didn't yell UCF. I yelled at Slippy to put it on. I mean, I kind of complained a lot. Yep. Covering drift forward, covering falling down. Just look at the key is to look at like what space is he covering here. So here he covered him going into center, so we let him drift all the way to the corner. Okay. Here he covered him drifting down here, so we let him stay up here. Still in disadvantage. Here he covered him drifting down and getting down. Also, every time he does that, he wears out the float. The float's a resource, so float runs out slowly but surely. So every time he covers, he gets like kind of a soft guess, pretty much for free. And Shift can just hold float and reset the situation, but not really because he's still running out of float. And so there he shield drop up here to cover Shift falling. Okay. He's so fucking good. This is crazy. No. That's definitely not a you know, I feel like nowadays you can do here is you can threaten like back air, and if she goes up here, you can smash her in up air. Back in the day, that was too hard, but I bet you we could do it nowadays. We're good enough in this spot. That's what I'm gonna do. Like threaten back air. You can just double jump up air, I guess. But like you can in a lot of these spots, you can like threaten back air spam, and if they air dodge onto the platform to get out of it, you can smash an up air the ending lag, the landing lag of the air dodge. They do get out of it usually, like they get to land, they get the jump back, float. Like there, you can like smash an up air. I love his nairs. Like they're not as threatening, but they're just so like safe. You can stomp that. Yeah. You can also usually bear the up B. Like they're really bad at up B sweet spotting. I don't really know why. Like you think they'd play the character, they know the height, but you'd be wrong. I think so. So you can almost always bear. Like if you do a late bear, it's always going to cover up B sweet spot. I don't think it really does, but I've never seen it not hit. So I think they're just bad at it though. I think Pokemon's the right call. Especially nowadays, frozen Pokemon. I think that's where I would always go. I'd always go Pokemon. I think everything else is worse. With I think this is should be transformations, right? Yeah. So it's more questionable back then. But nowadays, especially after Battlefield, like such a good stage. Such a good stage for us. Because it's the FD without all the biggest downside, which is just her punish game getting way elevated. You take that away, but you still have all the big space and the, you know, relatively small blast zones. Again, up airs cover the drift down. The extended flow is really, really good. I haven't thought about it too much, but it loses just us like arrowing place. No, it should have been grab. He mixed them up. That was really good by Trif. Right here, Adam thought he would land on right on the edge of the platform, so he miscalculated. Um, yeah, yeah. You notice Trip did a delay kind of fair there to get a really low fair. That's why Adam just shielded and rolled out because he was like, "Fuck." Because if he does instant aerials, he does them high, like well not instant, like out of float right away. They're a lot higher up, and you can see them. But there, he was seeing the writing on the wall, so all the Trip was kind of onto him. If Trip had done like instant air to beat him acting preemptively, then he could have CC grabbed him. But Adam saw that like Trip was setting up like a hard CC punish. He just dash dance grab. That's crazy. I have never dash dance grabbed Peach's dash tag in my entire life. And I played this game for years. This is really good though. I want to point this out. He doesn't bear here, which sounds like a little optimization, but if Trif was playing a little bit cleaner, Trif could have like taken a lot of space off of which bear here. Because bear has like more than twice as much lag as empty land. And so if Trif is clearly playing too far away for bear to ever hit, the mindless bear here is actually a pretty meaningful like lag give up. Because it could be the difference between like, I don't know, 5 frames of dashing and then jumping. So it's the entirety of dash away jump startup is less than like the difference between bear and empty landing lag. So it's actually a pretty important optimization that he doesn't like always mindlessly bear, which is the kind of the nerdy shit that I'm into. But like, that's like good shit. You know what I mean? He's actually thinking. Yeah, covered up there to cover drift forward. Again, like the whole strategy is you can stay off stage in your little float. You know what I mean? You can stay out there as long as you want. Try to make it as hard as possible for you to move where you want to go, which is ask me. So Falcon's here is like a wall, right? If Peach gets over here and you up air her, she's fine. But if she stays over here and you up air her, she has no float, no jump, she's off stage. So not that's code for not fine, right? And so Adam is basically saying you can't get through here. Yeah, that up B clipped him. That's awkward. It happens. Good. He didn't get as greedy this time. He should die though. And it's not free for Peach though here. Yeah, fine. Yeah, just good shit all around, honestly. That was just good stuff. Covering ledge dash attack is a really common thing though. You can actually I'll put a little optimization for you that you can do, but generally it's like you want to go like up B last second to go high, but he's been doing it every time. So sure, if covering that was just a good play. But there's a little optimization you can do to get around this right here though. So you can drift forward and then air dodge down and in, and you'll get through the dash tag. So like a triangle jump there. At lower percents, you actually want to miss the alms attack and slide off the ledge, or like tech and play slide off the ledge. But at higher percents, you're gonna fall too fast. Like you're not gonna grab ledge, so you have to go for the roll and hope they're slow. But he's done it every time, so it trips onto it. But there's not much. There's not really good mix up. I would just DI up and in there once they're onto it. But it's still the best option to do to start with. That was greedy. He was just a run off double jump up air, but you got to be careful with it. Okay, what is going on, man? I'm not crazy. I did just something changed. Oh, that was so good, dude. Oh my god, how is he punishing them? That's insane. I have to watch it again. I'm sorry. That's so boring, but like, so first off, he shields because he's scared, but he chooses to wave dash out of shield instead of jump out of shield because Peach is really good versus jump out of shield comparatively. They wave dash back into like reading instant flow because he figured that Peach would see shielding and try to set up pressure. So if Peach sees you shielding, she can set up a float pressure on your shield because if she hits your shield, you're pretty screwed. Like there's not much you can really do. That's why I did the instant up air out of the wave dash. That's crazy, bro. It's out. Like it's literally out right now. He's like one frame off from being literally like the perfect timing, like literally frame perfect. I think he's like one frame off from being perfect. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. You can okay, so you can just like dash into it and hold down though. I don't think the weak hit that knocks down for a while. I could be wrong though. I don't know when it knocks down. But at low percent, you can like if you go to dash dance grab like Peach's dash attack, you're gonna get weak hit usually. You can just hold down and match grab and you'll get it. Um, but actually clean dash dancing it is like wow. I don't even try to do it, so I didn't even know to get better at it. Yeah, so he can. I would stomp him, dude. I'm saying fuck you, but yeah, okay. He was so intent on just holding the position though, which honestly is probably the intelligent thing to do. But I would stomp him. Oh, he didn't tilt by the way. He doesn't seem to like. Oh yeah, you can see that dash get attack. He did it a couple times already, but just Kiss didn't point it out. And yeah, the reason he didn't tilt is he doesn't seem to like up tilt anymore. Down tilt won't combo. And also, Trif was mixing up jumping to ledge with the upbeat sweet spot, trying to use the hitbox to get off ledge. Yeah, she can mix up her timing. You probably didn't know that she could because you probably never seen a Peach do that. Timing mix ups, crazy. But no, she can get off. It's just like it's not all like reactable. Nothing you can do about it. Wow, that was bad by Trif. Should not be getting hit by his down throw knees. That like this should not be because if Peach gets down throw knee, she loses this matchup pretty hard. Um, but the whole reason why she doesn't really lose it anymore is because she doesn't really get kneed by anything. There's no real knee setups. It's just hit her off stage into hold position and box her out in the corner. Yeah, this is the advanced pre-slippy meta. You guys probably know about this. This is the chaotic fun that Pokemon gives you, right? You probably didn't realize how much fun you're missing out on. Um, yeah, if you nair her out of the air, oh, true. What is Trif doing with his down smashes? That one is more forgivable, but the ones on the platform were silly. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't believe we're up there. Upper is safer there than anything else, but I would stomp there actually because he's down smashing. I think DIN's good there by Trip though. To take the knee because he's missing the getting out of the down throw knee anyways. Oh, I thought he was gonna feeling grab, but he's missed the timing. Good. And also that's what you want to do by the way. You want to take 2 hits in the down smash whenever you're gonna get set. You're near the ledge. That happens a lot on recovery. Lower level peaches will often down smash. No one will get up down smash you. If you hold down for the first hit and then DI up on the second hit, you get out like that. It's really good. Okay. What? Just screwed up. There are some mix-ups there, but Adam didn't do them. I think the right thing to do there, turn up is actually not as good for covering us as I think people think it is. Well, he's at really high percent, so it's not like infallible. Like I think turn is pretty good there actually, but like on lower percent, you can like, but you can like take the turnip hit on purpose and then like SDI it up and in, and then you can get like a really high recovery, and then you can threaten like ledge cancel. You can like drift back, ledge cancels, and you have quite a bit. But at high percent, you're kind of fucked. But you actually have quite a bit of fun stuff you can do with turnip edge guards at low percent. It's crazy. I think he was knitting now. Is that what knitting is? A double jump drop or whatever? Must be. It's like the fastest way to like grab more turnips. They like labbed a way to like camp out Pokemon Stadium as well as they could, which is pretty funny. But it is important for other characters. Not really Falcon, but like Puff, that was pretty good. Like pretty important. And floaties in general, I think. I guess anybody turnip really. Who's in a fast forward. I need to lab out that down smash punish out of shield. I don't know the ins and outs of that. I want to know like what the optimal DI is. Like I feel like you could like take the first hit and then SDI the shield SDI away, and then you can punish it out of shield every time. Probably. But I don't know for sure. I really want to test that, but I don't know. Again, upper the there's 10 frames of landing lag on air dodge, so it's more than D for landing lag on off an air dodge. So you can upper it pretty much every time pretty easily. That was ballsy, that jump. I thought Trif was going to down smash for sure. That was the good down smash time. Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't knee grab. Weird. I guess gentleman's working every time, so if it ain't broke. Wiggle out, see? Wiggle out. Oh my god. Awesome tech there by Trif. It could have been a knee, I think. Oh, I don't know. Like with how slow he reacted, I think it was, I don't know. He had to be really fast. Oh my god. I think he takes this. Bear stand probably. That's crazy. You guys see how patient he is? Like he would give the whole stage. He'll get back all the way back to neutral before he goes for anything that like would give Peach a free hit. That's crazy. Should I do that? I think I should do that, probably. Oh, that's a cute little guy jumping out of his chair. That's crazy though. Watch this, guys. He literally has a huge advantage situation, but like, unlike everybody else, he'd be like, "What the fuck, man? I should have missed that. Like, I should have covered that. Like, she's 115. How to let her like, get back on stage and take more space." Instead, he was just like, gave up his space. He just like reset the situation. He just kept. He was. That's crazy. Look, I just want to do it. He gave all the way back to neutral instead of scrambling in the midst of all this bullcrap. He's just so like not stubborn, which is so opposite of what he is as a person. That's why it's funny. That's crazy though, because he did that all the time. Like he just would just like everything's a reset. He just never scrambles ever. I don't think he ever scrambles. The only time he does it is in set play situations. He only scrambles if it's like a setup, like a CC setup. That's actually, I mean, that's mostly what I thought this was going to be. I'm going to be honest, but I do have some takeaways. I'm going to down for forget. You guys are talking now, by the way. We're done with the analysis. Oh, can you hear my keyboard? What's another big one? All right. Wait, hold on. Gotta be one other thing. It's one other thing I was thinking of. Let me think of it. If you guys have any questions about this, it's now it's time to ask. I just looked at it. I think the 8th point's what I was trying to remember. So never try to force the hits. Like you notice that like every time we flew in, he got pretty much punished every time. Whereas like he'd always cover like in front of Peach. Peach couldn't hit him was the whole goal. Like but he wasn't using just movement to run away. It wasn't like platform camping. He was just like saying right in Peach's face, kind of like how Marth would play it. Like you can't hit him, but you also can't. I'm not really trying to hit you. But he is trying, but he's playing more aggressively, more proactively than someone would. Is like, who's really thinking they're trying to camp Peach. He's more just like playing like a Marth player would, which is funny because he wasn't bar Marth player, which makes a lot of sense why he's able to play the matchup this way. I never realized that like he played like Marth though. Um, and then the run up grab makes her jump. He didn't really have to deal with low float arrows. It's kind of a newer thing. I wonder what he would do versus a low float arrow spam. I'll ask him. I was asking. All right. But yeah, run up grab to force jump, heavy IDJ. Use it versus full out blow because Trip would start to like full out float over short up nairs. I'm gonna hit him on the head. He also had the timing mix ups with the no fastball to beat that same thing. But if you did IDJ nair, you can get a pretty fat combo. Even from 0. And all the scrambles were only setups. He would pretty much only pick reset defensive options, whether it be buffered full hop or roll, usually roll or wave dash back, depending on the positioning of Peach. He never once fought like every time he fought a bad spot, he died, but every time he didn't, which is most of the time, um, you know, saved his ass pretty much. And when he did scramble, it was like not a scramble. It was like a setup the whole time. Like getting Peach to try to scramble with him and then getting a CC aerial. Um, Yeah. So all the quote unquote scrambling was actually just like a whole bait the whole time. Like nothing he did was actually unplanned. Like he didn't freestyle any of the bad spots because he realized that like, if we both have like a similar chance of winning the situation, why would I play it when I win neutral, right? He was also better playing him in neutral, but like also better charactering him in neutral, which Falcons do win neutral usually. It's the punish game that makes it harder to compete. Yeah, neutral resets and shit like that. I'm gonna throw this in. Why is Setchi the best? Yeah, so you can do that, but it's more like he would CC when he doesn't really have time to get out a safe aerial. Like Peach could interrupt the startup of his jump if she did an instant aerial, right? Like she's like floating near him, right? And he was go for a nair, and she does a nair too. She would have hers would be faster, right? That's when he would use CC. Because normally you would want to dash back or roll there, but he would basically be like slow down the Peach pressing buttons, right? Because Peach is like, okay, I win like in a situation because if it's a competition of whose buttons are faster, mine are faster, right? But because so basically, if Peach is like, it's kind of like how when the foxes are like spamming near at you, and then that's the most important time to Lord Stomp, right? Because like what happens for a lot of us who are more aggressive is we'll nair back, and we'll both just trade nairs with the Fox, which means we're getting wrecked, right? And that's the most important time to Lord Stomp. Well, same thing with CC versus Peach. If you're both pressing buttons and Hurt, she's doing like the high float aerials and stuff like that, and catching your jump, you can CC dash grab it like that. And down smash is like not it's really fast, but if you do like a really quick CC grab, it's gonna beat it in time. So yes, she has to spot dodge, which isn't that bad because if you miss a grab, you can just like spam SDI up. So you know, it's spot dodge down smash isn't that scary. But she can spot dodge grab is harder. But yeah, so you don't. He's not like approaching CC. It's more like he's caught in a bad spot and he does CC. Usually, like you could run up CC Peach, but I wouldn't do that because if she's grounded, she can just match down smash like an 8, and then the whole strategy behind Adam was like nothing. This dick ain't free. Basically, that's the whole strategy. Like you want to kill me, you have to earn this kill, and he gave some away. But like overall, Trip had to really earn every single kill. And if you watch most of the modern Falcons or any Falcon ever, rather not modern Falcons, any Falcon ever, a considerable amount of the stocks are just like free. They just like they went for like a free is not the right word, but it's like they went for like a mix up, right? And it's like a 50% chance of working, 50% chance of not working. But Peach has skews that risk reward a lot. And because Adam really internalized that risk reward discrepancy, in situations where it's like 50% of winning. Sorry if I'm talking too fast, but like because Adam understands there's like a discrepancy. When you win neutral but lose punish, your goal should not be win the spot 50% of the time. So Adam's like, I'll just reset to neutral in a worse position, right? But then you have to earn your next hit on me. And so he wouldn't approach UCC either because at least I would never do that. I only do it versus like Sheik and Marth mainly. That's mainly who I do it versus. That's a long-winded way of saying that. Basically, he would CC where like he didn't have time to jump, and it was like most people would jump badly and get hit. Oh wait, I'm still here though. But yeah, yeah, I'll go through it again, and then no pass we talked about. Tilt cover up B sweet spot. The reason it's good is you can just stand there and react to the up B, unlike a stomp or a bear where you have to kind of read it, right? And even if you get the stomp out, he can mix up they can mix up their timing. The bear doesn't work on low attacks, like a low up B sweet spot, and even if it does, you have to kind of read the timing, get it just as low as possible at the peak of her up B. Whereas you can just react to it with the tilts, so you can just stand still and do it like he did. Don't always land with the aerial. It's a big one. It wastes some serious amount of frames, and every frame is important when you like have such slower moves. So he gave him time to, give a little bit of space, but then set up another safe wall instead of like getting punished. And then arrow F tilt, he did a really good job mixing in. He didn't arrow dash back very often, honestly. Like he usually did aerial gentleman, aerial F tilt. Gentleman's was pretty greedy. He was doing it too much, but the F tilt was just good. Okay. All right, guys. Hey man, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll probably do it on something that I know a little better next time. I was actually doing this to learn. I wasn't doing this just to teach. I was doing this partially, mostly to teach, because that's why I went so slow on it. I know it gets pretty slow pace, but I was doing it primarily to teach, but I also was trying to learn. Normally, I do stuff I already know.